what I like? Star Wars. You know what I especially like? Star Wars on TV. Say what you want about Disney's approach to Star Wars on film, you're not wrong. It has certainly been a rough and rocky road, but everything else with them has been promising. The theme parks have provided all kinds of groundbreaking, immersive experiences and take advantage of wild new technologies to put you in a galaxy far, far away. The video games, while starting out rough, have branched out into quality experiences across the many different eras, each with their own dedicated followings. And the TV shows just won't stop being awesome. Under the watchful eye of the man, the myth, the legend, Dave Filoni, these shows continue to build upon this already massive world, flesh out concepts the movies only touch on, and give us a wide variety of gripping characters you look forward to seeing the adventures of every week. So naturally, given this hot streak, I was no doubt excited when I heard the news that a show about Boba Fett is coming. A fan favorite who stole the show in The Mandalorian, this show is spearheaded by Robert Rodriguez, who directed Boba's debut Mando episode, as well as a certain other movie I hold in high regard, Alita Battle Angel. And it's going to be a character study about how Boba Fett has survived the events of Return of the Jedi, all while running a crime syndicate as a changed man on Tatooine. What could go wrong? Well, apparently, quite a bit. Now, this show isn't awful, I'd rather watch this than Rise of Skywalker, but it's an immense step down from what we came to expect from Star Wars on Disney+. But there are still some saving graces here. First of all, the performances and the characters. This show is far less action-oriented than you would expect. It's about character. Bonding, debates, discussions, and a copious amount of exposition. All of this would have fallen completely flat if it were not for Tamara Morrison, giving his all to do Boba justice, trying to inject back his stern, stoic persona, but also a degree of charm and almost playfulness at points. Boba has gone soft, gone merciful. He is no longer the cruel bounty hunter of few words who values profit over the lives of others. Now he has embraced compassion thanks to the people who saved him from death on the dunes of Tatooine. But of course, we would never be sold on this radical departure of the character if it weren't for the actor believing in the person he is portraying. It's clear Morrison loves the fact that he is back, originally playing his father Jango Fett in the prequels, and he takes his role seriously. People around him are no slouches either. Fennec Shand, returning from The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch, portrayed by the original Mulan herself, Ming-Na Wen, essentially acts as Boba's obedient semi-devil on his shoulder. It's clear she hasn't been completely swayed by Boba's new groove and is not afraid to be more cruel. Their relationship as kind of business partners is one of the show's biggest strengths, and what keeps the ship from sinking. The individual stories this show tackles too are interesting in concept. At one hand, we have Boba in the present trying to keep Tatooine stable and win the people's trust as the new daimyo, a role once held by Jabba the Hutt. In the other is us flashing back to the events after Return of the Jedi, and Boba's journey to becoming the kinder man that he is by being raised by the Tusken Raiders. Both on their own are solid narratives, and when they get good, you can clearly see that. One's a political mystery, and one's a character deconstruction. But remember what I said, interesting in concept, because the execution is all over the place, and this is what kills the show. The pacing and structure of the show is dreadful, and oftentimes will ruin your engagement of whatever interesting story it is trying to tell. I understand that this show is trying to cover a very long timeline, and cramming it into 7 episodes is a challenge, I get it. But these two shows should not be done at the same time. The flashbacks do not feel like a nice refresher or break from the current story. It feels intrusive as our priorities and what to focus on for the show is skewed, because neither have a chance to fully develop. Why? Because they keep interrupting each other. The Book of Boba Fett is at war with itself on what it even wants to be. You either focus on one story, dedicate maybe 1 or 2 episodes in the past to act as prelude, or make these different shows, or at least seasons. Because juggling won't make your show feel more sophisticated or deep, it will start like a circus act, except your ringmaster is completely incompetent. For a show called The Book of Boba Fett, while I like what they do to him in terms of character and his newfound depth to the personality, Boba Fett, the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy, now Tatooine's crime lord, is a complete and utter moron. I'm not saying in every episode he has to descend on his jetpack and completely body his enemies like a heavyweight wrestler, but just because you're kinder doesn't mean you lost your skills. Either he's getting beaten by sand people in training, sending other people to do work he could clearly do himself, recruiting kids off the street without so much as a background check, or getting sneak attacked in his sleep without setting up defenses. Boba has become an idiot for really no reason. Especially in The Mandalorian, this kinder Boba was still able to scare off and take on an entire legion of stormtroopers. And in the comics, he was capable of even crazier feats. And before you can say the comics aren't something the writers needed to pay attention to, well, I would agree if they didn't include characters from the comics into this show. There is no reason for Boba frickin' Fett to be this bad at his job. What happened, Robert? You were in full Alita mode back in Mando, now you're in Spy Kids mode. You even have an obligatory Danny Trejo cameo, just like the Spy Kids films. Although admittedly, that was really cool. I mean, how could you not like that? His boots. And these issues about deprioritizing Boba don't get any better, especially when we reach spoiler territory. Yeah, I often don't like to discuss spoilers in these reviews unless it's a play-by-play, but this needs to be addressed. So, look away now if you don't want the final few episodes and their reveals ruined for you. Okay? Still here? Alright. So, eventually the show decides to give up being a Boba Fett show and to be a commercial for other shows. It brings back The Mandalorian to set up his season. Show Luke, show Ahsoka, show more of the Clone Wars. It gives you everything except, being the Book of Boba Fett. And the saddest, downright most tragic thing is, these are the best episodes in the show. It's streamlined, it's focused, it furthers arcs naturally, and provides us with enough juicy fan service to keep us wanting more. Why? Why do this at the expense of your title character? It's like the show lost faith in Boba and decided to start doing The Mandalorian Season 3 early. What is this show? What does it want to be? I don't understand. When the Book of Boba Fett is good, it's solid, it's the same level of quality you expect from a Star Wars show on Disney+, but it's not good for long enough, not if it doesn't understand what it's trying to be a show about. Which means by the end, just feels like it's a show about nothing with no reason to exist. With that in mind, I'm giving the Book of Boba Fett a...
crazy.
Man, that hurts to give it such a middling score. But that's how it wants to play, so I'm giving it what I think it deserves. And hey, if you like my reviews, games, or figure content on YouTube, why not send over a like and subscribe? With your help, we can make this channel as big as, like a Bantha.
Yes?